example 1, figure ABCD is similar to figure GHIJ. Okay? So, if you notice, they're talking about this figure and this figure. And do you see how they have the wonderful little angle measure things there to tell you that this angle is the same as this angle? All right? So what they've really done is they have flipped and turned this. So if I was to redraw it, I could draw it like this and it would make more sense. And this would be H down here. This would be G up here. This would be, let's see, H goes across from I, and this goes J. Do you see how they have flipped and turned that? Okay, I didn't do a very good drawing of it. But this is the side that has your two angles. This is a side. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go about doing this, okay, to figure out which corresponds with which. This time I kind of flipped them and showed you. But if I had these two figures, one way I could do it is to say, okay, I know that these two here, I'm going to make this mark like this, okay? So between here and here, it has to be like this. And those sides are corresponding, aren't they? Okay? So then I know that D is going to come away from this one, so that has to be this one and this one. So maybe I make, I don't know, dots going across this side and make dots going across this side. It's telling me that those two sides are corresponding. All right, I'm just coming up with different ways. Now, the one opposite of this is obviously, I could do a straight line, all right? And then the one with the two lines and the one with nothing, maybe I do something like a dotted line, okay? So then I know the sides that correspond with each one. Does that make sense to you? So when they ask me for line AB, what corresponds to line AB,
Yeah.
I can say easily it's what? What? AB is either IJ or JI, whichever order. Usually they'll give it to you alphabetically, but either way, you could write IJ, and you could write JI, either one, and you would know that those are your, I'm sorry, it goes up here. JI or IJ. You could do either one. Either way would be, except for they did notice that they said AB, so they're really looking for IJ. Do you see that? Okay. So then BC is the dotted line, so I'm going to go with JG or GJ, either way. AD would be which one? HI, and CD would be H and G, wouldn't it? Or GH, either way. Okay? So that is one trick you can learn to do. Especially if they give you these lines, it helps. All right? On this one, what I would try and do here is, okay, let's see. What have they done to this shape? Did they turn it? What did they do to it? They made it smaller. And they just turned it. They rotated it. They didn't really flip it. Flip it would be like this, okay? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put dots along the side that's small. At least I know that side. And I have a straight edge, so I'm going to put a straight line on the straight edge. And then I'm going to put a squiggly line maybe on the other one. All right? And here we go. XY is straight, so I'm looking for what line? GH. XZ is dotted, so I could use what? GI or IG, either way would be acceptable. And HI goes with YZ. Okay? All right, simple enough? Okay, let's look at this one. It says, are these statements true or false? So I could say, okay, this is figure 1, this is figure 2. This is 1, this is 2, correct? Okay, so let's figure out the one that's slanted, I'm going to put dots on. Okay, so that would be dots here, wouldn't it? And then I've got this short one, I'm going to put, I don't know, squiggly lines. I'm going to put squiggly lines here. The straight one on the bottom, I'm going to put a straight line. It doesn't matter how you would do it. And then I could put, I don't know, curly cues. We could put a dotted line, a hashtag line, right? Okay, so I've got that. All right, so now let's see what they've told us. MN is the dots, isn't it? So this is a dotted line, and XY is a squiggly line, and NO is a squiggly line. Is that going to make any sense? No, it's not, is it? They're not going to be corresponding because I'd need a squiggly line down here and a dotted line up here. Does that make sense to you? So that one doesn't work. Let's look at this one. LM is a dashed line. LO is a straight line. YX is a dotted. No, YX is a dot, is a like that line, and XY. Oh, what am I doing? Is this one, and this one is. WX is the dash, and XY is dots. Now hold on here. So as this one is false, she says this one is true. How did she get this one to be true? Let's look at this again. Maybe I made a mistake. MN is dots. XY is dots. That's what I did wrong. Yep, I did wrong. This one is dots. Okay. NO is squiggly. And YZ is squiggly. So this one is true, isn't it? Okay. All right. So we've got dots and dots and squiggly, right? This is figure number 1. This is figure number 2. Okay. Let's look at example number 5. A little more complicated of a figure. Okay. So we've got more stuff to do. So what we could do here is, all right, R and S. Let's see. Let's do dots. RS. And RS over here would be which one do you think? What? DE is correct. Okay. After DE, let's just keep going around it. That way we can do a straight line here. We can do a squiggly line here. We'll just keep going around the figure, right? Should be able to do it that way pretty easily. Here we could make X's. You can come up with your own system, however you'd like to do it. I'm going to make dashed lines here. CD, I'm going to, I don't know, what if we do triangles? Triangles. I'm just trying to come up with something to help you because these can get really confusing. So RS is what kind of a line? It's dotted. And that, does that equal AF, which is squiggly? No. Okay, do you see how I'm doing it now? I'm going to make the picture a little bigger. Okay. All right. So then that one doesn't work. UV is X's. Does that equal AB? Yes. So that has to be my answer, doesn't it? That one's true. Okay. So do you see how that can make it a little easier than when you're trying to look at those shapes and they're turned around sideways and cockeyed and crooked and all kinds of things? We thought about using colors, but the problem with colors is that you don't get colors necessarily when you're taking a test. And so this is something you can do with your pencil and be able to help yourself out. Okay? All right, let's flip the page. There's just a couple more to check. All right, so AB, what do you want to use for AB? Squiggly line for AB. What is the same line going to be on the other figure?
LM.
LM. So I'm going to put a 1 and a 2 because I have two different figures. So then I'm going to...
Square.
What?
Square.
You want to use squares here, okay? They're take more time to draw. Okay. Then let's use stars. How about that? Stars, yay! And then we could do dots because they're easy. They're fast. Okay. You want to, something. I know you want something fast. All right. So here we go. We've got AB, which is squiggly, and LM, which is squiggly, and we've got AD, which is dots, and LO, which is dots. We got lucky, didn't we? Did we get lucky on the first one? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Okay, so that's our answer. Okay, do you see how this can be pretty easy when you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to do a squiggly line here and a squiggly line here because I know that's 1 and that's 2. I'm going to do dots down the side. It's the slide after it, so I know this is the side after the squiggly line. And then I'm going to do, I don't know, check marks. That's interesting. Okay, check marks. Okay, there we go. So AB is squiggly. JK is squiggly. 42. Oh, those are the numbers. Isn't that funny? 42 is over here with the check marks. And X is over here with the dots, isn't it? Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So AB we know is squiggly. JK is squiggly. 42 has check marks. Does 7 have check marks? Hey, did we find our answer?
Yeah.
Yay! Okay. Does that help at all?
So you're just trying to find this, what you drew
The
on that
proportions
side.
that match, yes. Okay? All right. And you're going from 1 to 2. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So last one, I don't know. We'll use X's here. X, 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 X between A and B. Now, what side is going to be A and B, do you think?
Yeah.
X. I probably should have started the ones with the numbers because then you can go around from there. This one's going to be dots on 5, so that's 25. Okay. Then let's do, I don't know, squiggly line because that's easy to write. Okay. So, AB is X's. XY is X's. So we like that, huh? 25 is dots. 2 is, how did I get XY is X's? And 2 is X's. Is that going to work?
No.
No. Okay. So I liked A, B, and XY, didn't I? So I'm going to try that one next because those were both X's. I've got 25, which is dots, and 5, which is dots. Hey, look at that.
Wait, we got B.
Okay. Hold on. Well, yeah, that worked. All right. So, like I said, short, sweet practice, not very much. Besides Jenny was absent yesterday. Somebody else was, right? Right.
Riker.
Braxton.
It always sound like it.
I don't know why I do that. I know better. You're not even alike at all.
Except for I.
I know you are. Yeah. You were here at school. Alright, let's see if we can get this rocking and rolling here. Hey, I found cans for 50 cents at Walmart. There's some soups, there's vegetables that are 50 cents. There are soups that are 50 cents. Yeah.
That's what I bought. I bought my father noodles. I bought the 12 pack.
This
So
is
it's
my
kind
daughter.
of like,
This is my daughter's one. This is my daughter. You need to be grateful. I give you donuts.
No, you do not.
Hey, please get to work.
Catch your place.
On the ones that say DE corresponds to just fund prepared.
This is yesterday's.
You too.
Let's see here. Today's the 10th. It's Tuesday.